I feel like I play way too passive with it. Like I'm supposed to be sneaky, but then oops, it's gone, and I've done nothing with it. Okay. I understand that feeling. If you get that feeling quite a bit, it's probably just because you're not recognizing windows, or you're just not taking the risk whenever you are in a sneaky position, so I'll try and keep an eye out. Alright. Right away. Above the window. Okay. Good start. Watching over your teammates. Two dead. Good start. Pushed out. Okay. Overall, not bad. Nothing really too bad about most of this. Cause like okay, so here's the thing, is this is like a moment I want to just sort of make note that, this is a good time to kind of keep track of the kills. 2 dead, it's 11:46, that's 3 dead. First guy's probably up, your teammate's dying. You also just left glass, so that's just not the greatest. One thing that I suggest, and like this is just what I do a lot, and it makes it really annoying for the other team, is like you can still accomplish a similar thing by just being LR. Like you don't have to stay glass like you were off the start, because you want to be glass off the start, and then you wanted to help your teammate snipe, but then he got the pick, and then you started moving up. But you guys got 3 dead. You got to start thinking about like the next play after that. You probably get a call out the guy's bottom mid, and you were already sprinting out. But you should recognize that like you have a teammate S4, you have a teammate on that side of bottom mid. The only other option, realistically, I think, like best place scenario is like you stay LR side, and like you can kind of still just watch over the entirety of bottom mid while also still having a presence on this side of the map. Because there are going to be spawners coming up, and I wouldn't be too surprised if they spawn yard and they start spawning tram after your death. Let's just kind of see, because you drop down. They're still spawning blue, actually. That's surprising. Okay, but then they spawn yard. Either way, I thought maybe somebody might spawn yard, but one thing to keep in mind, like I said, is like you were the guy that was top LR here, and you probably could have just accomplished the same thing by sitting here and just shooting from up top rather than dropping down. Like dropping down on like a kill like that is probably like if you got a bunch of kills in a quick span rather than like the sort of stagger you guys had. Like you guys had a great start, you get 3 down, but it was 3 down over the course of like 15 seconds, so half the guys you killed are already up. And now like, so you had that like 3-0 lead, and now it's a 4-3 lead, and your teammate's probably gonna die like U-turn. So just think about it. If you didn't die, it's probably 4-2, maybe even better scoreline, and you're like watching these guys just walk out top gold or through driveway, or they might walk past you LR or glass here. So that's just something to keep in mind. But overall, not a bad start. So that was just kind of like unnecessarily leaving a good position when you don't really have to. You just need to like trust your teammates, and like that's definitely something that comes into like competitive play, because like matchmaking, like things happen, you just want to soar, you want to get the kill, make sure the guy doesn't get away. But in actual comp play, you do have to trust your teammates and still like make the bigger picture plays by staying in like good spots and trying to do your part if you can. So you're walking out nest. No. You cannot be doing this. If you get that guy weak there, you cannot try to expect to get that kill. It's one thing if you chuck that nade and then watch it. If you probably like hit him directly. Let me just see. We'll see what that nade was. You probably hit him directly, and then it like made him ultra one shot. Like you get that guy weak, you chuck a nade. Oh, okay, hit the guy and then bounce off him. And so here's the thing: is like that nade, it's a literal Hail Mary. You're not gonna really accomplish much. Maybe you get a hit marker like you do, but you can't turn back around. Especially when like there's nobody right here to fight, and there's no like necessary and needed presence here. Because if you happen to even turn back, so let's just say like, even if this guy wasn't killing your teammate, so this is bad. You just turned away from a teammate who's trying to like break out. And breaking out this side is a lot better than breaking out on this side from snipe. Like you want to go LR like loop side. You don't want to be going blue side, because then a person like this can just tear through the rest of your team. That's just something to mention. You should not be here, and you just let your teammate die alone. And then now you turn around, and he lives through all that. Like, that was an easy, like, 2v1 right there. But you're going down. You got at least 1 kill. Red bar the other guy. Yeah, I mean, you kind of... So this is, like, what I was even mentioning before earlier in the stream, where a death like this, it's like, oh, well, you couldn't do too much. Yeah, you couldn't do too much in this situation because you let your teammate die on the posters unnecessarily. So if you don't let your teammate die there, it's still like you and your entire team up. Like, they're able to accomplish a lot here because you let your teammate die and you don't kill the other guy that's just out of, like, okay, one of your teammates actually died, so it's a 3v4, and then it essentially becomes just a 2v4. This guy was free to, whoa, why'd that guy just teleport? Okay, whatever. Either way, you walk out this way and watch your teammate, like, check at least low or clean that guy up, and then you turn in and then just do basically the same thing from a different angle. Because, like, you all don't need to be stacked right here. That's not what you want in these games. Because if you just get all stacked up in one corner, like, it's going to be very easy for the team to just sort of collapse in on you. So you want to break out. You want to help your teammate here, because if you help him, he probably stays alive. He can probably just push out, like, LR to top gold, and you can kind of be top mid to circle back in. Maybe you get shot from top gold. I think a guy just dropped from top gold into dip, but this death was very... This whole scenario, it's not that the death was preventable, because now you gotta kill, like, you're just... Everyone else on your team's also just kind of dying, so... this whole situation was very preventable. And now they have snipe, too. Blue team has snipe. So moving on. Spawn up, go glass. Gotta be careful of that thrust. Now you don't have it for a few seconds. Okay, let me see, like... Because I think you just waste both your nades here. Yeah, these are very poor nades. So, one thing I just want to make note with, like, this respawn. I could just watch out the rest of life, but these are also just kind of important things. So, caveat, and also kind of nitpicky, is be careful when you're pushing out like this. You burn your thrust, and you're stabilizing up here. If you can, I mean, stabilizing up here isn't the worst, but if you can get to glass without making any noise, that's okay. Like, in this time right now, these guys are all over here, but I know for me and at higher level play, if you're spawning yard, it's very likely or very possible that somebody's just chilling on here with the LR or at LR or already glass. And they can just kill you very easily, maybe even go for a ninja or a 3-shot melee. For you burning your thrust and then stabilizing up, that's just something I wanted to mention. Not the biggest deal, but something to keep in mind. And now, these are important nades, and this is a very important person to clean up or at least push out quickly. You need to make sure that guy is actually trapped in the corner before you start just chucking nades. So you shouldn't have thrown that first nade, and you shouldn't have thrown that second nade. First things first is, like, you walk out, you get some info, and as soon as you see that guy go into that corner, well, then now you can kind of just bank a nade at your feet, at least in this corner, or bank a nade, like, off of this little brick right here into that corner. You need to make sure you're actually conserving your nades in times like these for just, like, actual pressure, because you're just throwing, like, very, very useless nades. It kind of hit that guy, actually, so that one actually wasn't the worst. But you could definitely just double nade this guy. It is very, very easy, especially when you have a teammate right here, to clean this guy out quick. And in comp games, like, that's very important. Like, the efficiency is always, like, the #1 thing as a team that you need to be working on. And on top of that, you know he's there. You really can't focus this guy as long as you are. Like, maybe shoot him a couple times to back him down, but then really make sure you're prioritizing getting this guy off of your teammate and pushing him out. And then now you burned your thrust to get away from the one-shot guy that your teammate was just looking at. So, from what I'm noticing is, like, you're tunneling too hard on, like, not the most important kills. Like, that guy top nest is important, but he's only important because he's helping his teammate. So if you can just make sure he's not helping his teammate, this guy is, like, #1 problem to take care of before that guy top nest. Because now your teammate just died, you didn't help him really at all, and now he's just going to live on poster stairs like that. And it's a 2v1 now. It's a 2v1. Your teammate dies, and this guy's able to just walk up for free because now he has a lot of pressure. And, yeah, Good 5 though, good shots, but that could have been a very easy situation when that guy was trapped posters like that to just get some free nades and back that guy down off nest, clear the guy out of posters just right away. So that's kind of just like on a topic of being able to sort of multitask and understand, and you have to really understand your position in like that sort of fight. Like your position with that gunfight was to back the guy down off top nest and help your teammate walk through under that guy, so then you can maybe go up top and challenge this guy and clean him up, and then from then on, like, you have a lot of room. It's kind of it's actually very fortunate these guys are split 2-2, because if they weren't split 2-2, this would be a lot harder. But when you notice like nobody's S4, nobody's top mid, nobody's top gold, which you also didn't check, so that's just another thing that can happen in games. But they're split over here in blue. This should be a very, and this guy's trapped, so this should be a very like clean cut, easy couple nades, or you just start, like, one of you guys just need to move forward and focus the right guy at the same time. Because you really should not be trading out that kill right there. It should just be a clean cut, like 2v1 on the guy posters and then 2v1 top nest. Maybe you guys die, maybe hit some good shots, but you gotta work on the teamwork and the team shot, team focus. I'm not sure if your teammates have called out that a guy has sniper. That's the only thing that I would be thinking about in this situation, because you getting sniped there is just kind of like, it is what it is, but... Wait, why is your teammate not pushing the guy in blue? Either way, you spawn up. Back that guy off the top gold. He has combo. Okay. Walking through. So here's the thing, is... I think most of this is okay. Obviously, you maybe could have hit a shot sooner or 5 the guy and maybe focus that guy when he was one shot around the corner, but it's okay. And now where you're at right now is pretty important, because you have a lot of angles to work off of your team. This is like those complementary angles. Like a true complementary angle is being right here. You can look at this guy top dip if he had to fight anybody, or wherever he's looking at. You can see this guy's top nest if you happen to notice it. And you can kind of just shoot these guys off of soda stairs if they happen to push nest. Unfortunate nade it yourself, but even with that happening, if this is me, I get back up to top gold right away. Because all that's going to happen now is you're going to separate yourself from your team. They can't help you. Not really, especially since you're kind of playing a little bit slower. Like, you're not sprinting, thrusting out, trying to get to, like, clean these guys that are weak up very quickly. It'd probably just be better for you to be up here doing the same thing, walking through, and checking your angles while you walk through. Because your teammates are just kind of, now they're getting backed up. As you notice, like, you had a teammate that was top nest here a second ago. I think he just dies. Then blue truck, and then top dip. But if you kind of keep this presence top gold here, it allows your teammates to move through to nest and keep these guys pinned in the loop. But you kind of allowed a lot of time to pass, and now you're cut off from the rest of your team. You're shooting that guy in the back who's just going to get away. Pick up LR. Let's see what happens from here. See, and now you're just kind of out here in no man's land, and you have no help. Like, that guy's deep, this guy's market, taking his own fight. Like, that guy that was top nest is now fighting that guy. You were very much alone, and you need to recognize that you're very much alone. So here's the thing that you can do is, like, the most efficient plays is either stay top gold and work with your team here to, like, just bounce off each other and try and shoot the same people. I think that's probably just the highest rate of success if I just had to, I don't know, just put a sort of idea to it. Or you take, like, the long flank and get all the way behind these guys so that you can shoot these guys in the back. Or, like, get a back smack on LR or any of these things and prevent them from spawning here, because I think another guy spawns here in a second. Yeah, another guy spawns in tram. So if you could have forced them to spawn blue, and then you could have shot these guys in the back, going, like, posters or wherever, that is also another possibility. But you kind of just took the middle road, which a lot of times taking the middle road and not really committing to something fully is going to cost you. Because now, again, like I said, you're just in the middle of things. You're not further one side or the other, being top gold or glass, so you don't really have many options to work with, and as soon as your cover is blown, like it is right here, you're pretty much as good as dead. And then you're dead. Obi's coming up. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Okay, go blue window. Oh, you could definitely be challenging this guy right now. That's a moment right there. So, this might not even register in your brain right now as, like, being a sneaky play. I don't know, maybe it is. But this is, like, you're kind of playing your life and being kind of sneaky, blue window. As soon as you, even if you're one shot here, and your teammates are getting shot, like Ovi just came up, you gotta shoot this guy in the side, or in his back. Try to be as, like, cautious as you can. But, like, commit to something. Either... I think in this situation, since everything kind of went bad, like, I just commit to trying to kill this guy or get him very weak because I'm one shot. Like, I think it's probably, I'm probably getting pushed in the back. I'm just going to challenge and shoot that guy in the back. I commit? Oh, God. Oh, no, he's hitting the jumps. Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing, is, like, that's not that bad. It just so here's the thing, that play isn't a bad play. Like, the actual thought process of, like, why you would have walked forward at the guy isn't bad. It's just a matter of timing. So, like, here's the thing, you're one shot here. As soon as I see that guy shooting on the radar and I see him shooting out this way, like, he's showing himself on radar. He's taking a gunfight. This is like the freest 5 in the world. I literally just poke right here. Maybe there's a guy top gold. That would just be unfortunate, but like I said, this is like one of those moments where it's like, I think you just have to go for it. This is like one of those commit now or don't commit at all. Because, you kind of waited, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to commit now. You waited for your shields, but, like, waiting for your shields is okay in a situation when you're not getting pushed in the back. Like, if you know you're going to get pushed, that's where you have to make the decision whether you just don't do anything and just stay here or you actually push out. So... you are, like, this guy's basically one shot after you waited, like, 5 extra seconds. And that's what just causes you, like, he's allowed to get away like that. And you get yourself killed. You have to be, and that's, like, that sort of play that I'm talking about is, yo, Kodiak, thank you for the gifted tier 1 to Reptar. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. This is like a higher level play that a lot of people don't realize that they can make. And this is probably why you see a lot of pros like re-challenge at a lot of times. It may seem weird. Sometimes it's still very unnecessary, but like moments like these are like where people realize like they could have done more even while they're one shot and things were bad. So obviously first things first is like you need to make sure you're good here and you don't get one shot that easily while Obi's coming up. But once you're one shot, and like I said, you're just kind of chilling here and you see this guy shooting on the radar, like, just challenge out right away. Or at least poke out enough to, like, see what he's doing. Because, like, maybe he shot and then was turning to you or something like that. But you definitely need to be a little bit more aware of, like, your opportunity. That was definitely a big opportunity to just get that kill. Because if you get this kill, bottom mid already, or you're top dip, you don't even have to drop bottom. Like, you get that kill and you're already walking out, you can go to top gold, like, right away. Now you're stuck here, or not stuck here, but you're here with your teammates who can just melt anybody that might come for you. So that's, like, the beauty of timing, and, like, why it matters a lot, and whether or not you made a decision fast enough, or at all. Because if you just don't let that guy get away with shooting like that and walking out like that, you probably actually live, or you're a very hard life. You get a lot out of it. So he spawned up blue. There you go, good push behind. Okay. 2 dead. Now you... jumping up window here is a little risky, but a good 5 shot. Oh no. I feel like you could have done the same thing, or like that. That's like, these are ones like you need to make sure you're very aware of, because people will think like that, like this is a great death. Or like you did a lot, you got a double. But this is like the way I see it, is you have a teammate. Let's see, you have a teammate, 2 teammates actually, in position that could look at this guy. All you really need to do is like have trust in them, and then as soon as you start getting shot while top dip out in the open like this, you need to try to get as many shots as you can, but back down. Like, as soon as you start getting shot, like, thrust backwards, and either, you know, go back down to bottom mid to try and go for that angle and cut off the guys that were shooting you, or go this way and, you know, try and, if this guy is not dead. But if you, that's the thing that I also mentioned too, is like your teammates are very frequently, even in matchmaking, but especially in like coordinated games like this, your teammates are going to be very well aware of like what they can help a good portion of the game. But you have to be aware of that as well, meaning you don't always have to full commit to kills like this because it's very unnecessary. It's great that you got the double, but you guys are still losing right now and snipers coming up. This is really not a great time to die. Because if you could have just lived there, like, we'll see how this plays out, but I imagine it could have just been better. Your teammate dies, guys living on blue truck, and now you're spawning all the way back here too, so that just sucks. And they have blue control. I think they just got sniper. They did, so you really want to stay alive for that pressure. Like, you are important in life, because if you get that guy one shot, back down, get your shields. Let me actually replay it just to really show you how important that is. So there's 2 people dead right now. This is the 3rd guy. Actually, one just spawned up, I think, right? No, there's only 2 on the map. So you get that guy one shot, they stay spawning nest, and you stay like dip side. These guys aren't going anywhere. They're not going to be able to really even kill your teammate who's walking out like poster sides in a second. Because if you just stand here, that guy dies, and you're full shields, you know, you can just take a few shots on the guy nest ramp. This entire time, you stay here, and your teammates just kind of collapse in. Realistically, you want to try and get back into blue, so you make sure the spawn's like fully blocked. But you just wait for the sort of collapse in, so that you can kill these guys, move through, and then pick up the sniper for your team. So there was a lot going on with this situation, and your first death on the team definitely makes it a good bit more rough. But come off spawning in the yard. Got one guy. Ooh, use your thrust. Oh no, thrust backwards, please. This is what everyone does, thrust back in. Especially when you're losing in a tournament game. And you're down. Don't overcommit. However, that last life was okay. Like, the positioning, you helping your teammates was good, but that's just like an instance, like, just back down. Just back down. Yeah. I don't know why all your teammates are going to bottom nest. That's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, if you just thrust back into the wall here and just stay alive top gold, get your shields, and then I'm stuck. I literally... Okay. Thrust back to top gold and just, you know, maybe go back to top gold to help your teammates who are pushing through top nest. This is very fortunate. And this guy's going to probably make a play going top snipe. I can see it now. Because then you end up dying dip. Your teammates... Okay, they actually got a kill on loop. Okay, blue team just choked. That guy with sniper just choked. I'll just say that. He just made not the greatest play. But you got a double. You went back to the same spot. This is like one of those deaths where you already did a good bit, so you're just kind of over-challenging a little bit. Just, you know, just to get the kills if you can and whatnot. I don't really think this is too bad. I would say that if you manage to hit that clamber there like you did, and you know that guy's there, like, play your life, get your shields, and then re-challenge. Because this was definitely a preventable death. Like, I don't know if you were consciously thinking, like, fuck it, I just want to go for it, which is fine. Like, that's fine to have some of those deaths, especially since you guys are kind of going on a little bit of a run. But ideally, perfect Halo, like, you get that guy a couple shots like you did, and then you just get your shields back waiting here. Or you drop back down to Prius or something, I don't know. However you see fit. Or you thrust back into Flower Door. Any of those options to just get your shields or get away to stay alive. But dying there, like, that's not the worst. It's okay. But it could have been better. Spawned up, going to yard, crouching, teammate dies. Okay, hopefully you commit to this. There you go, that's a good play. There you go. Oh, are you listening to the call out? Damn. Seems like you're either you didn't listen to a call out, or your teammate is not calling out, which I will say at this level, I feel like is, even at higher levels, people just don't call out off their death cams. Like, that's just a thing people forget to do. Everyone's kind of guilty of it at some point. So that could have been a lot better. You could have probably cleaned that guy up real easily. Either if you were paying more attention or your teammate helped you or called it out. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, but this is a good play. Glad you waited. Also, a little bit of luck. That's just how those plays work, and it's good that you actually committed to it. Because this guy just being right here, he's one shot even. Oh. But you gotta hear that too. You gotta hear the shields coming back there sniping. You gotta hear that. So yeah, either your teammate needed to call it out, or you needed to listen better because you already did call it out. I'm not sure which. Only you can kind of know if you can remember. And you gotta just hear that. You just gotta have a little bit better awareness. Knew someone was around. Yeah, so that's the thing is like, we're gonna rewind because this is important. It's also very important due to the fact that you got 1 kill and overshield's coming up soon. And you're in a really good spot for overshield, being at glass. 2 dead. 3rd guy. You need to think about the 4th guy who literally... Also, you need to pay attention. You need to very much pay attention to the kill feed. That guy just got melee. Your teammate got meleeed. So, let me just see if he was in the corner. He's already out. So, this guy already got through. But my first instinct is to probably drop. Like, I check load, drop, and then follow behind this guy. Or follow at least this path, and then you would have ran into him. Because if that guy was at posters, he would have been probably shooting your teammate's top nest, or your teammate's top nest would have looked at that guy to shoot him. So you really committing to this corner with either little information or you're just kind of tunneling, you got to be a lot more aware. That's just what it boils down to. You got to be a lot more aware because this whole scenario just should not be happening right now. And then overshield's coming up. If there is 3 of you here and you just back that guy down, go back to LR, go back to glass, go back to a position that actually you can work and work with your teammates. Because you just being here in a highly nadeable spot when an overshield's about to come up. Also, you're poking while 1 shot, not good in this type of situation. This death is so unnecessary. You just can't die here. You need to be in the position to, you know, be LR, nade flower door, maybe go top gold, even like fight this guy off so your teammates can just easily get overshield here. These are very, very preventable deaths. Very, very preventable deaths. Wait, did anybody get Obi? Who got Obi? Must have been burned. Must have been burned. They spawn LR. So again, it's still same thing, I feel like. And maybe I just do this well. I don't know. I am literally always glass if I can be. If I need to be. Or if there's a moment like this and I see 3 of my teammates on that side of the map. I feel like this is not the best formation, even with your 3 teammates just being like blue, flower door, and like right there. You ideally want to like you are the guy that spawns glass. You should tell somebody like, hey, somebody go top gold, and like that's all you have to say. And then you like work your spot because being glass is very important while you're getting kills. Because I imagine they're gonna start spawning behind you. Yep, they spawn tramp. You never want this to happen. When you have a lead like you do on Plaza, please, for the love of God, block tram. This is just one of those things that, like, if you're not blocking tram, just go block it. Just sit on glass. It's so easy to just do that. Now, it's good that you recognize that. Good play by you at least to sort of circumvent the problem. You at least turned around, naded it, and followed up. But your teammate's dying. Because here's the thing. If you are glass in this situation, this is what I do a lot of times, is like if you're glass, you can kind of just be the director here. You can be the director for your teammates to say, okay, or realize, okay, teammates going bottom blue truck. Can somebody just go like top mid or somebody go top gold, anything like that? Because if you do that, they should be trap nest. As long as your teammate bottom like blue truck doesn't push too far ahead, they can just easily get like 3 or 4 stacked at nest off of their respawn. That's like the ideal. We always talk about, like, of course, the perfect plays or the ideal setups. And like that's probably one of the simplest ones to do on Plaza Slayer, or just in Halo 5 in general. Like this is super simple to just stay here on glass and force them bottom nest. Because this is just kind of inefficient. It's great that you got a kill, like I said. Good on you for actually recognizing it and then you followed up. But two of your teammates also did just get killed. I think probably for the lack of already being in the right spot. Like you got that kill, but maybe in the more ideal situation, you're blocking here. You don't even maybe get any of those kills top nest, but at least there's 3 or 4 guys at nest for your teammates to just easily just run rampant over there, you know? And that's more important, obviously. Great on you to get the kill, but ideally you should be just trying to get 3 or 4 dead there pretty easily due to manipulating the spawns. Go top gold, get a couple shots, back down. Okay. Yeah, walk up with your teammate. Okay, good shots. One thing I was gonna say, this is kind of nitpicky just for like 1v1 gunfights, is if you don't have to use your thrust, don't use it. If you don't have to. Or if you're gonna use it, like use it very early when you have a lot more room to use it. Because like right here, you're perfectly fine right here. You haven't gotten shot, you're full shields, you don't even need to burn your thrust. Even like that, for like a re-challenge. Now, it probably actually, maybe you made an assumption your teammate was going to help you here. You really should have just been like behind you, I think. But it's great that you still hit your shots, but now you don't have a thrust at like the initial gunfight. Because that's the thing, is like not enough damage was really going down there to really need. You like I said, you were full shields and you just kind of burned your thrust. So that's just something to keep in mind. Small, but also pretty impactful. Spawn tram. Oh, you guys are up 6 too. No, see, you're leaving glass again. You don't need to help your teammates. You do not, and you should not help your teammates here. It's a 2v1. They're getting kills. You just need to watch. So this is what happens in these scenarios. You guys are up 6. You need to make as few mistakes as possible. And usually, making mistakes in Halo 5 is like generally just pushing or trying to be over-exerting yourself to like help teammates or just do too much. Now, doing too little can like hurt the team, but like doing too little in times of like necessary movement, like if you're down in a game, is like that's usually the downfall. I feel like if you're not moving all that much when you're winning, I feel like there's a lot less room for major errors like this. Because you being top mid, I feel like yeah, there's no support, and you guys just gave up the better spot. So here's the thing: look at where you guys are at, and look at where they're at, and that's simply because they spawned there. And that's okay, because maybe they would have still spawned there if you stayed glass. However, you could have been the one flanking, like yard BR behind these guys, or going, you know, light haul behind these guys, or just, you don't even have to move. You just wait here. You just sit here. You tell someone to get to you. Because now you're just sitting S4 doing nothing. And now you're like, oh, well, now I want to go back to where I just was 10 seconds ago. So just think about that. You were already in the right spot. You guys were already 6 kills up. You didn't even do anything because your teammates were in a 2v1, so it was unnecessary for you to leave your spot. Now they're in the better spots, and you guys are going to have to re-collapse from further back, from worse positions than if you were already pushed up where you were. Sword your teammate, push in. Oh no, that's really unfortunate. Yeah. You have a nade here? I'm just curious. I feel like the whole collapse BS is in my head. You mean like collapse BS as in like you feel the urge to just literally be with your teammates when people are alive? Because like a collapse, here's the thing. A true collapse mainly is like, how do I explain it? Like collapses are mainly like the initiation in a way. There's like different nuances to like when a true like collapse is. But when there's one guy alive, there's like the guy that before was like one guy here in hotel or something, and 2 of your teammates were around it. Like that's not a collapse. Like that's just cleanup crew. A true collapse is like now where there's 3 or 4 people up and you guys have to like do something now. It's like, all right, now where's the collapse going to come in from? How are you going to work it? Um, that's like what's kind of happening now. Like that's not a collapse right there. This isn't a collapse. That's just one guy alive and 2 of your teammates on the case. Like you don't need to think of that at all. So I leave to go collapse. Yeah, it's very unnecessary because this isn't a collapse. Like I said, these 2 guys are collapsing on him, but like a team collapse is it's overkill. It's way overboard and very unnecessary. That's why like you need to be thinking big plays about. There's one guy over there. Where are the next 3 gonna be? And the next 3 are gonna be literally all in yard. Now this would be the collapse like you set up for the next collapse by being here on glass, and the rest of your team can then play off of you being in this sort of outpost right here. Like I said, it's just very, very unnecessary to leave that great position to be where you're at now. And so here's the thing that's important too, is like you're the guy S4 and now you're afraid of like, well, I might get shot from LR, I might get shot from LR. You were the guy that was LR, that if you being here, if you stayed here, then you would have been like that security for your teammates who could have just moved in very swiftly. Like I said, that was okay. You at least got in to help your teammate here. How's your teammate down behind you? Okay, your teammate, that's bad for Mop. I'm just going to say that's really, really bad. He should not be running away. He should be helping you just push in. So this is important. This is very, very important at a competitive level. Maybe you guys are all just kind of getting the high of like, oh, we're doing well, like these guys are getting shit on, whatever you're going to tell yourselves in the heat of the moment. But it's like, okay, I'm going to push yard. Like that should be the communication here. I'm pushing yard. Or like you also should say like if you know Mop's behind you, maybe you know who it is. Say like whoever's flower door or Mop, like I'm pushing yard, like come with me. And he can say yes or no, and like that dictates like what happens here. Obviously, I would say like this is not really a gunfight you should lose. You also have nades, so that's important. If you have the first few shots like you do, like chuck a nade at that wall and then like take the fight. That's just something I want to say about this gunfight here. You had 2 nades to use and then you burned your thrust kind of early. Throw yourself out there. But you and Mop needed to work together. Easy 2v1. A lot of people just he died and then you died. Both very unnecessary deaths. Oh no, that's the whole point. You could have won the fight regardless, but this is why bringing this up is so important, because that concept of just communication this transcends just this game. And we've already noticed, or I pointed out now, where you've had moments to work with a teammate, and either you're consciously tunneling or unconsciously tunneling and not working with a teammate, or there's probably just no communication at all. Because like, look at you two. You're over here, he's over here. You both were standing on top of each other. Why would you split? It is just a 3v4 right now, I believe. Well, actually, let's see. I need to see the deaths real quick, because this is definitely an important topic to kind of touch on. That kill goes down. What is going on right now? Yeah, so it is a 4v3. Okay, so it's a 4v3. Like this is not like, okay, there's no way that like they come out on top in this. Well, your teammate dies and you die because you both just took like 1v1s or got caught off guard. And now look at it. It's a 3v2. It's literally a 3v2 in the matter of just seconds. So working with your teammate is just so, and making sure you're doing it as consistently as possible is so much more important than just focusing on winning the gunfight. Obviously, make sure you don't lose those gunfights, but that's the whole point of like sometimes you're going to lose those gunfights and it's going to suck. You got to just, put in more time, make sure you don't lose those easier gunfights or situations where you have advantages, but sometimes you're just going to miss shots, sometimes you're going to make mistakes, and that's why you need to make sure you're relying on teammates. So you guys are still up 5. Sniper's coming up. Heavily stacked loop side. Ooh, you should be walking up. You should be walking up. This is not a time to be sitting still. There you go. Took a little bit to get moving. Oh, but no, you got to make sure. So this is definitely kind of touching on the efficiency aspect of what we were even talking about before. You're in a prime position to be the guy to start walking for it. Maybe you're a little nervous. Maybe you're like, I don't know where these guys are at. I only know like 1 or 2 guys and where they're at. But you need to play for the sniper now, so that if anything goes wrong or anything goes right, you can play for Ovi rather than playing for both of them like at the same time. You don't want to make a choice when you have the choice made for you. It's literally coming up in 2 seconds. Like your teammate gets shot here, he backs down. If this is me, I instantly start walking forward. Like maybe I still shoot that guy and then check above me because sometimes people will do that. But like walk forward at this one-shot guy, and on top of that, your presence here at least puts pressure on this guy, and you can pick up snipe and, you know, back up, or you can stay here and just like watch over this entire spot. Then the rest of your team only has to worry about this inside of the map. That's all they have to worry about. But instead, you're just kind of waiting around. You waited around, and now one of your teammates is dead. Maybe that would have happened either way, but you should have just kind of made that call to go top nest, commit, grab the snipe, and then turn back around because you had plenty of time here. You were that guy that could have really stepped on the gas to get yourself in a very good spot and get the sniper on top of that. Yeah, and now things are split. Your teammates are dying. You're in just a really bad spot because now you waited so long, and the blue team is just in better positions. So you had that opportunity to move forward, and that really was your moment to move forward. That guy's one shot there. Like I said, I make sure that I'm good right behind me, and then I'm probably just going. I might just even sprint. I'm probably not going to thrust just so I don't burn my thrust like an idiot, because that guy could already be S4 like he does do. But playing for the sniper is very, very key. And then you turn back around, or, you know, still play like S4 or benches, whatever. You just need to have presence. You have no presence at a very important moment right now. That's the biggest takeaway, is the lack of presence in a very disputed time in the game. So now they just get OB for free, and they get sniper for free. There was very little like contention for both of these things from the entire team. Like there was one player or two players doing something on the map, at least from you guys, but primarily you being like the middleman that kind of came forward. You needed to be the one that goes forward. Like you stepped up in front of everybody, you need to actually start walking forward. I think that might have been OV. Where was I? Go yard. Burn the thrust. Yeah, this is just kind of unfortunate. I don't have much to say about that. Guy gets a pretty... He didn't really work too hard for that double. That was a little too easy, but that's... I wouldn't really necessarily blame you for that. 42-42. Spawn bottom left. Definitely want to try and link up with your teammate. He just dies. Okay. Oh yeah, you don't want to be standing out in the open like this. You have the right idea about, like, you know, having some presence, working with your teammate on that side. But ideally, if this is me, I'm probably gonna start stepping over this way too, just so I can have a wider angle and, you know, keep tabs on everything that's in front of me on where I can be shot. Because if you're just right here, like this is just a death trap, being in this like little lane right here, top nest. There's just nowhere to really go. At least on this side, like you can thrust forward to go here, or if you're still far enough back, you can still make the longer thrust over back to nest ramp. But as soon as you start getting shot right here, like, you know, thrusting over to a teammate is not the worst play. I would honestly be the one to do that if I'm in that situation. I would definitely say just follow up with a teammate, kind of, you know, cuddle up a little bit while you can. And you guys did get a few picks too, so you don't need to be afraid to be a little bit more out in the open. Maybe you still die, but you got to play for safety here. You're just kind of out there. Go top nest. Somebody needs to walk out. Yeah. Say taking over posters is a very highly contested point that you want to be the first one to do it. You have a teammate at blue too, so that's very important to remember. You have a teammate at blue. You need somebody that like is pushed out on this side of the map to at least have this sort of cross with this guy over here, so that you can watch his blue door and he can watch like your soda. He can watch your poster stairs, or if somebody jumps up and you have a guy top nest to even watch you. You just need to be the guy to move. I think there's some moments that I've noticed where you're just a little too skittish. Like you have the opportunity, it's right in front of you, and you're not really recognizing the window. That can be hard sometimes, especially in the heat of the moment, but if you're already there... Oh, yeah, now he has sniper. Somebody needs to go low. That guy just got straight bodied. Getting shot from. Okay, oh. No, you can't be shooting right now. Alright, so this is nitpicky, but this is, like, you're gonna be in situations like this, especially in, like, more difficult games. You need to make sure that if you're gonna take shots right now, like, you are hitting those shots and you're getting, like, a literal cleanup kill. He was one shot. I know he was one shot, but you kind of... Well, he's not one shot here when you first shot, so that's, like, kind of where I'm coming at with that. You shot right there. Now your bottom mid push is just kind of eh. Like, I'm not going to take this shot right now. Like, just... So, that's my point, is, like, it's such a bad angle. And now look at where you're shooting at. So, I'm talking more so on the context, like, you need to make sure if you're going to be in that spot doing that play, like, you are getting the kill. You are getting it. That's... And now, since he just knows you're there, because if you're in these spots during these moments, people will just, like... You can take your time. You can be a little patient. Obviously, you have to have a little bit of haste. You gotta be a little bit quicker. But now he just knows where you are, and this push was effectively just pure... Wow, he... Okay. I don't think any other, like, top-level player or top-level competition would let that happen. They would just know you're there, and then they would just collapse on you very quickly. Especially at a time like this, when they just had 2 dead, you should almost be dead or having to run for your life right now. That's very surprising that that guy didn't, like, recognize that. Alright, but the game slowed down. Kind of been sitting loop. Oh, no. Oh, no. Damn. Yeah, I mean, in this situation, I probably tell my team to, like, get to me. It's a little too spread. How does that guy get there? What happens here? I need to, like, see. Oh, he walks up driveway. Oh, and there's a second guy. Why'd your teammate leave glass? Yeah, in this context, like, your team just has to be ready for somebody to, like, make a play. I think you were okay, but your team just... Yeah, your teammate leaving glass there really just kind of was a nail in the coffin. And then he just... Yeah, I mean, there's no perfect way to really, like, oh, don't get stuck there. That's just unfortunate. That is just unfortunate. But just, like, look at it this way, is, like, if you made this play, because this is, like... So this is why we're going to go back, because, like, that end play, or whatever happened there, is, like, that really is just unfortunate. That just sucks. Your teammate needed to not leave glass, or you needed to be glass, or something. But it really wasn't all on you, so it's hard to really just dissect that. I said, if you're doing this play, like, you clamber up, and, like, that guy's body, like, he better be this out in the open while one shot, when you're about to take that shot. Or just, like, it should almost be, you know, a guarantee if you're going to actually shoot your gun. Or, like, if you know he happened to just sit here and he's getting his shields back, like, it's easy to just walk behind him. As long as you give yourself, you know, the room to just walk off of it, and then get a back smack or get a 3-shot, and then maybe clean him up. Like, you're still in the prime position here to catch this guy off guard. But after those 2 shots, like, you really just kind of let yourself be found out, because it would have been a 46 or 47-48 at the very least. And I don't know if this guy still has sniper. I'm not sure. Let's see for a second. I just want to see. Yeah, I don't think he does have sniper anymore. I just want to see real quick. Yeah, no. He just gets the one-shot melee. Yeah, he must have saw you there anyway. But if you waited and, you know, been a little bit more patient, you probably would have gotten that headshot cleanup pretty quickly. I can't believe, like, he's not... Like, he, like, saw you, but, like, didn't. I don't know. Like, it seemed like he saw you and thrusted. Like, that's why. But, damn. Then he made this play. So, what happened before that was a lot more important. Was if you're gonna do that sneaky play, like, make sure you are doing the secure thing. Like, you're making a sort of risky play. So you need to follow through and, like, You just gotta give yourself like the window. You kind of just you kind of jumped the gun. Started shooting a little too quickly. Didn't get the cleanup on a one-shot guy, and then because if you got that kill on the guy here and your teammates came off respawn, that's a lot of room for your team to just move off of. A 4v3 in a 47-48, I would have preferred being in your shoes there rather than blue team with the one kill lead. Because having map positioning that you guys would have had would have been a lot better. Oh, I didn't mean to back up all the way. But that is gonna be the review. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. But I think that's all there really is to say about it. I think that's about it. I think that's